Hola, buenos dias. This is Kai Pacha with the weekly Paleo report again. This one for May 25th of 2016. This one I'm just, I'm home again. That's my soul portrait over on the right there. That was painted. I'll put the details in the notes below if you want a soul portrait. That's what my soul looks like. It's got crystals on it and everything. I suppose I can start over there, So, let's look at what's going on here. I got these masks going on. Thought I'd give you a little tour of my masks because we have the Sun in Gemini, Venus in Gemini opposing Mars, Venus opposite Mars yesterday, Mars in Sagittarius. Yeah, and this is, it's going on still. It was all last week. It's more, more going on this week. Venus opposite Mars is, us and partnerships, the masculine and the feminine, our relationships, really bringing out what's behind that mask anyway, my friend. Let's have the truth. Speaking of truth, tomorrow, Jupiter, the planet of truth, the ruler of Sagittarius, where Saturn and Mars are both now residing as in retrograde, reflecting on the truth, the deeper truth of what is behind that mask. Are you really being honest, open, truthful? We're going to talk a little bit about that, yeah? Mercury is in a beautiful trine with Pluto. Yes, that's going on all this week. Mercury trine Pluto. Again, I want to talk about the deeper mysteries, issues that we have, emotional, sexual, intimacy. Open up, what is behind. Research and investigate what is behind the form. And then we've also got, this is one of my favorites. I got this over in Bali last year, man. Check it out. I love the gods over there. Anyway, this was the most friendly. Most of them are like, enough to scare you and keep you up at night. Anyway, Friday, Mars goes down into Scorpio, speaking of scary. Retrograde Mars returning back to Scorpio. It's going to go down to 23 degrees before it goes direct again and comes forward. So things are still intensifying as we come, more and more. I'm going to bring you in for the grand finale is the ones I got over there in Africa. Keep them right over the bed here. Here they are, the king and the queen going on. These are beautiful masks. Okay, so anyway, back to the astrology, man. Jupiter square Saturn, the first pass was last August. Yeah, August 3rd, 28 degrees Leo to Scorpio. Saturn was in Scorpio back then. And then Jupiter goes retrograde. Now Saturn goes retrograde. And March 23rd was the second pass. And now this week tomorrow is the third final finishing completing pass of that exact Jupiter square Saturn. Of course, it's been going on this whole time. We just, look at the exact aspects when we come into that. So, and then last but not least, okay, we've got the square moon. Third quarter square. Yeah, happening at 8 degrees, 33 minutes of Pisces. The moon moving through Pisces. She's in Capricorn now, Thursday Aquarius, Saturday Pisces, Sunday square, 270 degree, third quarter square moon. You can see her up there in that night sky, yeah? And so, let me just talk a little bit about what that all means. Hola! Hola, mi amigos. Machete. I had to cut down the bananas. Had to eat them. They're gonna ripen now. I had to get the camera a little farther back here. You can see way more of me than usual just because you gotta see all these bananas. There's gotta be 100 bananas. I didn't count them yet. But wow, nature is abundant. Yeah, Sun Venus comes out of that Taurus, the Empress card. I liken Taurus, you know, with the Empress. This is Gaia, you know, always giving us, always supporting us. And now we're coming in, yeah, to Gemini. And there's so much going on right now. So many people are under, like I've said, it's like a pressure cooker. It's like a room with the walls that close in, one of those movies where we are all getting squished. We are all getting purified, and we are all getting tested, and we are all getting challenged by, you know, Venus opposite Mars, by our closest, you know what, it's like the people that we're closest to. And Gemini is siblings. This is also brothers and sisters challenging us. It's like the closer you get and the more you love somebody, the more intertwined your karma is. Yeah, and the more you just kind of like challenge and question, and you want the truth and the depth and the honesty and get. And you put up with less and less and less. So love is a very interesting force of evolution. And so we're, you know, so many people are getting tested now. There's a lot of people with this much pressure checking out. Yes, death is among us. Many people exiting the physical realm these days. And as Mars goes back into Scorpio, yeah, this is, you know, going to maybe increase a little more, yeah, over the next couple months. And, you know, and there's just also depression. This is another, people are really reflecting and depressing, going down that wormhole, self-analyzing, self-criticizing. You know, it's like, whoa, this is a time where we can really find our own faults and find the faults of everybody else and be pointing fingers and blaming each other and blaming ourselves and just like, I mean, it's like, wow. So yeah, people are getting pushed, and then we get pushed back into the corner. Life is pushing us all back into the corner, because like when we're backed into a corner, our truth comes out. You know, it's like, okay, I can't lie anymore, I can't hide anymore, I can't, you know, it's like the pressure is forcing each and every one of us to own our stuff. So this is Jupiter and Virgo. Yes, you know, really analyzing and figuring and purifying and cleansing. And it's just like getting scrubbed with a deep sea sponge. Anyway, there's so much going on right now, particularly with this new moon, okay, that's, you know, coming up next, you know, June 4th. I am doing a whole hour and a half, 2 hour, you know, webinar to go deeper into the mysteries of Gemini, deeper into the mysteries of the Grand Cross. Yeah, we're going to have a Sun, Venus, Mercury, opposite Saturn, squaring Jupiter and Neptune. Yeah? And it's just like this Grand Cross is super intense. And I want to just talk a little bit about this Gemini. You know, Gemini, Sagittarius is about truth and lies, bullshit and honesty. Yeah, the mask and the real. Yeah, the unreal and the real. I mean, Gemini is this, you know, sign. It's the third sign, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, fire, earth, air. It's an air sign, mutable air. Nothing changes faster. So Geminis change their mind, and they read something new, and they change their philosophy of life because of this magazine article. You know, I mean, it's just like, you know, and from one day to the next, you know, the air. Okay, just think how the weather changes. Gemini changes, and this is not just sun sign astrology. We all have Gemini somewhere in our chart. We all have Mercury somewhere in our chart. And this is, you know, this Mercury, oh God, yeah, I was going to say, you know, I'm thinking of this Mercury trine Pluto right now. This is like a very good time to be stripping away our masks. Yeah. But even the Mercury trine Pluto, it's almost like I was just, you know, configuring, you know, well, Pluto is like the Hulk. I went to see the Marvel the latest Marvel thing here with the kids, you know, and it's got the Hulk. Pluto's like the Hulk, you know. So like a trine to Pluto is like having the Hulk as your friend, you know. It's like you never really know when he's gonna like boom, take care of you, man. And so then I get into this whole Marvel thing, you know. I'm thinking of like Iron Man is probably like Aquarius, you know, and if I come to Gemini, I'm gonna say Spider-Man. You know, this last one is Spider-Man. He's the youth, the kid, yeah. And the kid is swinging around and talking. He won't shut up, and you know this, that, and the other thing. You could go with like Thor is probably Sagittarius, you know. And I mean, we could like do the whole Marvel comic strip with the Zodiac. Maybe I'll do that another day. But I just want to look at this: the eternal youth, the puer and the puella eternis. Yes, this is Gemini, and this youthful quality is curious, and so I want to experiment, and I'm liberal. We could say we are very liberal. So there's this element now, the Sun Venus in Gemini wants to study things, learn things, make new friends, short distance travel, you know, new classes, new courses, you know, experiment and open up and open up and open up, you know, and change. Oh yeah, you know, I mean, we've been doing this for 2 months. I said that 3 weeks ago. I mean, it's just like, whoa, new information changes the program, changes the picture. And so people can also get this idea, you know. And this is the other aspect that I want to bring in, and I'm going to really go into it deeply, okay, in the webinar. But Gemini is not just the twins of Castor and Pollux. It was actually that Zeus mated, yes, with, you know, with a mortal, the most beautiful queen, okay? And they had offspring, but she also had offspring from her husband, her earthly husband. So there's 2 sets of twins. There are, the one set of twins, okay, is Castor and Clytemnestra, yeah? These are, you know, I'm sorry, it's Pollux and Helen. Pollux and Helen are the son and daughter of Zeus. They are demigods. They don't die, yeah? And it's Castor and Clytemnestra that are the mortal twins that are born. So there's these 2 sets of twins, and 2 of them being divine and 2 of them being mortal. And this is why we have this Gemini, you know, 1 foot in heaven, 1 foot in hell, yeah? Or, you know, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or the schizophrenic, you know, that is, you know, very high and divine, but also like very earthly and stuck. And it's very interesting, you know, through the mythology. I'm going to go into the mythology way more in the, in this webinar. But today I just want to talk a little bit about how, okay, basically, when Castor died, Castor and Pollux were horsemen, and they were warrior fighters. And when Castor died, he died in battle. Pollux missed his twin brother so much that he also wanted to die. He asked to die. He gave up his immortality. I mean, and here we get like this Chiron, okay, wanting to die. And we get into these states of depression of wanting to die. It's just like, you know what? You know, this mortal self, this earthly self, this human self that ends, and the divine doesn't want to be without it. And there is sadness and grief and sorrow at the loss, yes, you know, that happens down here on earth with these physical bodies. So Geminis can be very light and airy, but deep behind the mask, you know, behind the, like the clown is smiling all the time, but behind that mask there is a deep sorrow. There's a deep sorrow that, you know, it's almost like it's only the 3rd sign, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. It's like the descent, Yeah, from the starry realms of Pisces and infinite potential. It's like Gemini is right here now. The environment, the city, the day, daily reality, right here. Facebook, technology, emails, business, commerce. Mercury rules commerce and business. You know, it's like get down to business. And there's this youthful aspect of Gemini that doesn't want to. The gypsy wants to roam and be curious and stay free and fly free. And yet there is business. And there's commitments. And now we've got Saturn there in Sagittarius. And talk about the conservative. This is like the Catholic Church, or the Torah, or the Mohammed, or it's like these conservative, old, established religious views, and the fundamentalist, and this is evil and wrong and bad, and it's all black or white, and you're either good or you're bad. And Gemini is good and bad. Gemini is divine and earthly. And this is the trickster. And the Gemini, this is the polarity between Gemini and Sagittarius that we're all getting, this is the time now. And it's forcing us, pushing us, like I said, into our truth. And our truth is changeable. Again, Gemini is going to say, my truth changes. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 10 years old. But Sagittarius can say, you know what, there's one truth. It's an objective truth. And you are the same as you were when you were 10 years old. It's a throw the hands in the air kind of time now, isn't it? Oh, God, man. That's why this Gemini Sagittarius is square the Pisces Virgo. Yeah, the Pisces is the infinite potential and spirit and no boundaries and, and, the Virgo is the earth, grounded, get a job, get some work, put food on the table, take care of your kids, be responsible. So this whole big square going on now. It's mutate. It's time to mutate. It's time to change. It's time to fess up to the truth. This is not working. Yeah? This is not producing results. This is not producing income. This is not producing children. This is not producing, love. It's just like, what? I want a better harvest. This Jupiter in Virgo is calling for a great harvest. I want lots of bananas, And part of that, is discrimination and discernment between what is real and what is fantasy, and what is dreams, and what is childish, eternal youth hoping, versus coming to the North Node Jupiter in Virgo, which is working and effort, and it's not magical. I'm very sorry, but this is kind of a time of coming out of this infinite potential and magical world of drugs, alcohol, escapism, and sex, love, movies, novels, whatever addictions you use, to make you feel happy-go-lucky. And it's time now to get down to business. Even Virgo's ruled by Mercury, which is business. And expansion and opportunity through business. So this is a time to get down to business and get down to what's real and start speaking the truth. And not only speaking the truth, but thinking the truth. It's time to stop bullshitting ourselves. The truth starts by being honest with yourself. Yeah? It's just like, what? I don't believe that, or I am not, in this game as much as I hoped, or wanted to be, or said that I was, or tried to be. Some of this is actually just admitting failure. Failure. I mean, it's just like everybody's afraid of failure, These bananas were afraid to fall. But thank God they did, because now we can gobble them up. You know, every failure, it's just like in astrology, there's no failure. Yeah? You know, it's like fall doesn't fail, you know, so that winter can happen. It's all cycles, cycles, cycles. Daytime did not fail, okay, when the sun set. It's change. Let's just replace some of this word failure with change. It's a change. And there's always a new business, a new day, a new love, a new wardrobe, a new income. Gemini says embrace change. And Saturn and Sagittarius can judge. Oh, that's, you know, that was a loss, or you did it. You know what? We're all learning. We're all growing. We're all expanding. And part of learning, growing, expanding is like, you know what? I don't need that crutch. I don't need that training wheel. I'm riding. I'm sailing. I'm walking, you know, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. This is the new paradigm. This is coming out of patriarchal, dominate nature, control nature, build steel structures that last forever and resist change, into a feminine, lunar, shifting like the tides and the moon and the weather, and embracing change. Not as a weakness, not as a failure, okay? You know, not as, you know, just a dumb, you know? But as, oh, thank you, you know? I'm not going to stay in 8th grade forever. I'm going to graduate. I'm not going to stay in high school forever. I'm going to graduate. Yes, I can be the strongest high school kid, you know, after 50 years of high school. It's like, hello. What kind of evolution is that? So these mutable signs, and this mutable, you know, cross is mutate, is I have to change because my environment, you know, is changing. My world is changing. The economy is changing. My partner is changing. It's like we have to change to mutate, to adapt to a changing world. And this is also scary for people. We like to initiate change. That's the cardinal signs. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn like to be in control and initiate and lead the change and have it my way, right? And the fixed signs, they don't like go for change at all. It's just like, you know, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. It's like, okay, you know, let's build this and make it, you know, last and stronger and awesome and amazingly and powerful. And, you know, it's a work of art that will never, you know, dissolve or something. But even that gives way to the mutable signs. So we're in a period here, this whole month of June until, you know, until the solstice, you know, June 21st. We're in this Gemini, and it's not just Gemini now, like I said. This grand cross, this great mutable cross, is hitting everybody. And it's right in the middle of the signs, yeah? Anything from, say, 10 degrees to 20 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Pisces. You're getting planets, ascendant, midheaven, moon's nodes. You got stuff there. You are getting wham, blam, blasted. And all I can say is let go and change. And take it easy on yourself. Don't be judging yourself so harshly. Don't be judging your partners or other people when they change. Let's embrace change. Change is beautiful. Evolution is change. Growth is change. You don't change, you don't grow. You don't change, you don't evolve. And you become irrelevant. And pretty soon, you get written off. Anyway. Oh my God. What's the mantra? I can no longer lie or continue to pretend. For every mask I wear, destroys me in the end. And when I was thinking about this mantra, the word destroy, I played around with it. You know, I could almost leave that blank. You could fill it in for yourself. It could be suffocates. Every mask I wear suffocates me in the end. Yeah? Or every mask I wear sabotages me in the end. Or every mask I wear blinds me in the end. You know, there's lots of things that when we deceive ourselves or try to deceive other people, and I'll tell you, a lot of what Gemini has to deal with, if I don't run out of time, I get all excited about this stuff, you know, but it's judgment. You know, Gemini fears judgment, and part of that mutating or being the chameleon or trying to fit in, you know, and wearing that mask or bullshitting or lying is because they want to be liked, or they want to be accepted, or they want to belong, or they're afraid of being judged, you know, and locked up, or being called evil or bad or wrong or the, you know, the devil or whatever. And so it's just like, if we get out of these places of judgment and expand our capacity for tolerance, people will not have to, people can take off the masks. We can help each other take off our masks by having more acceptance, forgiveness, tolerance, and letting those people change, and letting our relationships change, and letting the dynamics change. Let's help each other strip down, get real, stop having to tell lies, and stop having to hide, and stop having to look good. You know, it's like if we accepted each other, unconditional love, we wouldn't have all these masks to start with. So it's not just about you taking off your own mask, but let's all help everybody else to take off their masks. Yeah? By having some fun and letting everybody off the hook. Yeah? Let each other off the hook. Let's have some compassion for everybody else. So, yeah? I'm going to end this with what? Yeah? I can no longer lie or continue to pretend. For every mask I wear destroys me in the end. Not only do we take off the masks, but let's peel away our skins. Peel away. Yes? Become more vulnerable. Become more open. And allow ourselves to nourish each other. Be a banana. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.